Oh, are we live? We might be live. My hair's a mess.
Are we live?
Oh my. Well, no. It says we're live, and we're about to be live. I don't know who's. Okay, so this isn't actually going to show us who it is. No. Well, we're live now.
You are looking live on Sports Ramblings 2018.
We've done shows in 2018 already, dude.
Well, this is another addition to the collection.
Should I mute us already? Are we already off the rails?
Well, this is the whole point of the show.
We didn't even talk about what we're going to talk about. Oh, my God. Welcome, everyone. Your favorite sports show is back. We pretend like we're too busy to do this, but then we end up finding time to do it anyway. So this is Sports Ramblings, where we are better than the 4-letter network or the 3-letter network or the other 3-letter network or the other 3-letter network.
Or even the 5-letter network.
What's the 5-letter network?
Peacock. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, no, but that's not the sports one. Does MSNBC do sports? I thought you were going to be talking about ESPN.
The other one.
The U! How about the U losing to Virginia?
Oof.
How about the U losing to LSU?
Go on, Tigers.
Go Tigers.
We're gonna play this football game. It's one team without me. We're gonna do that. No, we're gonna do this football game. Go on, Tigers.
I mean, where else are you going to find top-notch ESPN, not ESPN, Coach O impersonations? So, what's actually going on in sports right now? You see, I guess the theme of this one is blank is back. So, Tiger is back, probably. We'll discuss. Texas is back. Boom. Notre Dame is back. LSU is back. Was LSU ever gone? Who else is back? Is Michigan back? Michigan's probably not back. We'll see.
Yeah.
Boston is back, unfortunately. The Patriots never really went anywhere.
Shocker.
Basketball is back as of like 2 nights ago.
Hockey is back.
Hockey is back. Hockey is back. So where do we want to start with?
I think we gotta start with the thumbnail, Mikey.
Tiger Woods, y'all?
We gotta start with Tiger.
So, so you think Tiger may or may not be kind of struggling his way back, right? And then he shows up at the PGA, just hat backwards, like
badass.
Shades on, the Tiger Sunday red, and what he ends up only losing because Brooks Koepka is still upset that no one knows who he is, despite the fact he has 3 major championships.
3 major championships all in the last year and a half.
Yeah, and but whatever. So yeah, and then so Tiger obviously had a very strong PGA, had a strong next couple of tournaments, and ended up winning the FedEx, right?
The Tour Championship.
The Tour Championship.
He did not win the FedEx Cup.
No.
That went to Justin Rose, but
he won the final event.
Won the final event.
In the FedEx Cup.
That is correct.
And then
first time in 5 years he had won a PGA Tour event.
Tiger's back, y'all. Number 80, I think.
Number 80.
Number 80 total tournament win. Look, this is what it really comes down. First of all, is this even centered?
I don't know.
Is it? I don't know. You know what? You just deal with the camera being wherever it is. Obviously, having Tim in person is a treat, of course. And we also have a special guest.
You have a special guest here. You got to bring in our special guest.
Robert Rhymes.
Hello there.
Hello there, indeed. So, Robert, what do you think about Tiger? Is Tiger back?
Oh, Tiger's back, man. I think he can win some championship in the future, and just watch out for him. He's back.
So,
for sure.
So the last thing Tiger Woods did, I guess we kind of need to get into some specifics, is the Ryder Cup, and Tiger did not win a single Ryder Cup event. I know my theory is he just played so much golf trying to go for the FedEx and end up winning the Tour Championship and all of that I feel like he just played. I mean, if there's such a thing as Tiger Woods playing too much golf, I mean, for us, there's no such thing as too much Tiger golf. No. But for Tiger,
everyone loves Tiger.
But for Tiger, there's too much.
I mean, if you watch like him come at the PGA at Belle Reve,
let me scoot back so I'm like not even with
you. We gotta make it even.
We gotta make the crew even.
The ratings went crazy up with them.
I mean, more people watch whenever Tiger.
I mean, just watch the people coming down the 18th green at the Tour Championship at East Lake. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before at a golf tournament.
I felt like they were about to stampede Tiger. Like Tiger was about to get Mufasa. It looked like. I mean, Tiger versus a lion. But anyway, no. But yeah, that scene with the literally the sea of people. I would not think. I mean, that looks. I don't know what the attendance is like at golf events, but that looked as big as a major in terms of people, and they were all following him down the fairway.
And remember, this was taking place on a Sunday in the middle of football season in Atlanta at the same time.
Weren't the Falcons playing down the road?
The Atlanta Falcons were playing at the exact same time,
and the Braves are still rocking and rolling.
Braves were making their pennant push. And all this going on in the city of Atlanta, and yet look at how many people chose, you know what, I want to go see Tiger Woods play today.
I'd rather see Tiger play than the Falcons anyway, so.
I mean,
Dirty Birds.
Dirty Bird down.
1-4, 1-5 now.
The onion ring
Their
lives,
defense
right?
is
The onion ring
horrific.
does live. Saints have this kind of ring. Atlanta has like this kind of ring. Remember when you had a lead in the fourth quarter and everyone was rooting for you except for me? I remember because I've never been.
I was with Mikey that night.
I made a gumbo. I was drinking beers, and I've never been so happy to watch Tom Brady come back in the fourth quarter. That's probably the only time I've been happy he's done it too. But yeah, Dirty Bird down. So moving right on, NFL. I feel like the NFL is kind of back in its swing. We haven't talked about this type of drapery from a pole that designates a nation or whatever. Mr. I lose to Joe Flacco in Super Bowls is kind of, despite Nike's best efforts not getting talked about, excuse me, hiccups. I feel like in the NFL, we're talking about football again. And if anything, we're talking about the stupid roughing the passer rule. But I feel like the NFL has been back a couple of years, but for the first time in 3 years, the NFL is back.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even with the roughing the passer calls, I think they've really gotten that under control, especially after the whole Clay Matthews situation where he was
3 games straight with
yeah,
roughing the passer call.
So
I think
ridiculous.
I think there was some sort of closed door meeting where they said we gotta lighten up on this, otherwise it's going downhill fast.
Well, and you think about the rules working as intended. Why do you make rules protecting quarterbacks? To produce offense, to get more points, more offense, more points,
viewership,
more drama, more viewers, more money.
Yep.
So,
look at that Chiefs-Patriots game the other night. What was it, 43-40 was the final?
Yes.
I mean, people love that kind of game. They love shootouts, and that's
what
why.
Was the Saints opening game? 48-40?
Yeah.
When they lost to the Bucs and Fitzmagic, his one and before the carriage turned back into a pumpkin. But so let's kind of go over a couple teams. The Giants. Is Eli done?
And he's done.
Is
Eli's done.
Yeah, and you got the OBJ drama. He's just
OBJ drama. So I've heard a lot of people said, look, the Giants were there at 2 and they took a running back. They probably overestimated how much Eli had left in the tank. Mm-hmm. I recently went. My dad and I went to, and some other people from his firm went to a Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame deal with guest speakers Les Miles and Archie Manning. And Archie was joking. He's like, yeah, the Saints, we scored a lot of points, but, we might not have won that many games. Mm-hmm. And, I currently am the most sacked quarterback in NFL history, but Eli might catch me this year. Archie was great. Les is hilarious as always. But, yeah, so the Giants are kind of a shocker at how bad they are. The Steelers got off to a rough start, but they seem to be putting it together. The Patriots got off to a rough start, we're putting it together. The Saints, I was there, had an atrocious game 1, and have just come storming back. And Drew Brees. This is a hill I am willing to die on. Drew Brees is better than Aaron Rodgers. Drew Brees is better than Tom Brady. The only reason people say Tom Brady is better than Drew Brees is Tom Brady's had a better supporting cast and has more hardware. Yes. If the Saints had any semblance of a defense. They would have won at least one more Super Bowl, maybe 2.
We would be talking about Drew Brees as best quarterback if the Saints would have had a decent defense during his better years, but they just had a horrific defense, and so he just wasn't talked about.
Yeah, hey Bears, you want to do a straight up trade? We'll give you our defense for your defense.
I think I'll pass. I'm passing that one.
So the Saints look to be rocking and rolling. I don't know if their defense can win against some of these higher level teams like the Rams, the Patriots, the Chiefs, and all that. But I mean, I feel like the Saints, it's not outside the realm of possibilities that they could, compete for a 1 or a 2 seed, maybe get lucky at one, and maybe get lucky someone knocks off the Rams in the playoffs, have dome field advantage for the NFC, and then go march into Atlanta and win a Super Bowl in the Falcons' home stadium. Like, I always root for the Saints to win a Super Bowl, but like, the older Drew gets, and now that the Super Bowl is being hosted in Atlanta, it's just like, it's usually like here. Now it's like way up here. Like, we got to win the Super Bowl in the Dirty Bird Dome. Like, that's awesome. Which, one of the obstacles we might face along the way. Looking pretty good in the NFC North. The Bears. How about the Bears, Tim?
Well, I said this off camera before the season started. This was the most excited I've been about a Bears season in a long, long time. Given how well we drafted, how well we signed free agent acquisitions in the offseason. We finally got a supporting cast around Mitch Trubisky instead of just a bunch of intramural high school players running around out there. We actually got some dudes that can catch the football and run routes. And we finally got a defense that can actually live up to the Monsters of the Midway name. And I tell you what, the Khalil Mack trade was just kind of lightning in a bottle. I mean, I don't know what John Gruden's doing over there in Oakland. That's another discussion. But getting Khalil Mack just to really just spark this defense in a way that we never saw coming. And I know he kind of got banged up against the Dolphins last week, but every other game that he's been in this year, he's had an impact. I mean, the whole nation saw it when we were on our first 2 games against the Packers and the Seahawks.
Condolences, by the way.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick of that. Kind of sick of that team up north. Anyway, I know we probably have a lot of Packer fans watching here. They understand.
Out of the 2 people watching, how many are Packers fans? 3.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. So the Bears are definitely off to a good start. Are y'all currently in the division lead?
Still,
or tied?
We're barely in the lead. We're in the lead by half a game.
But the funny thing about the Khalil Mack trade, I mean, he's been a great addition for the Bears, of course. But John Gruden has said after every game, it's just if we could get a better pass rush, maybe we could just have that. So it's it become a
giant meme.
It's have you heard? Do you know what Khalil did on your team? Had you ever seen him play?
Well, what I think is fascinating is people were saying this, watching how dominant Khalil Mack was the first couple games of the Bears. So, if this proved anything, this proved that we really were not watching the Oakland Raiders. Because if he was doing this in Oakland and now he's doing this in Chicago, we're like, oh my God, look at Khalil Mack. It really just goes to show no one's really watching the Raiders.
West Coast bias, a.k.a. no one stays up that late. Also, the NFL's TV broadcasting is atrocious. I pulled it up on my phone. If a little tip for y'all, GameViewingGuide.com. I mean,
some free publicity.
It's you can kind of see. I mean, you can't really tell what it is. It's literally every game in college football that and on the network. I mean, if on what's a good example? ESPN2 is showing Maryland, Iowa. If everyone across the country who has a cable subscription can watch Maryland play Iowa, why can everyone not watch the Raiders play the Broncos? You think
without having Sunday ticket, obviously.
Without having yeah. Well, I mean, this is a house. I'm renting. I'm not allowed to put up a satellite dish, so I can't get DirecTV. I can't get Sunday ticket. Right? I know you can get in and use it Apple TV. There are ways around it, but I'm a broke grad student. I can't afford that crap. But, I can, you should be able to, if college football is worked out, where between NBC and CBS and Fox, FS1, FS2, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN, Dayu! And I will do Dayu for every ESPN, Dayu! Because Dayu is, anyway.
Virginia, the Who's.
Yeah.
The Who's.
Oh,
and Go Tigers. Right?
Go Tigers. Oh, Coach O, man. He turned that dumbass Seagull into a gumbo real quick.
Sebastian, you remember my gumbo? We were talking about last night on the bayou. It was real fun.
We could do a rambling special just on Coach O impersonation.
Yeah, maybe we should pull the crowd out there.
Put up a straw poll. Who's the best Coach O impersonation on the Ramblings crew?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
So back to the NFL. That's atrocious. And one of the things that I've heard talked about the Raiders, Khalil Mack, and the Bears is Khalil did more in the locker room almost than he did on the field. So you have all of Oakland players just kind of like, it's like whenever the army, it's like if the king gets killed and the army's just on the battlefield, like our king just died, like what do we do now?
Yeah.
You kind of feel like, Khalil had that presence in the locker room or whatever, and now it's at the Bears, and the Bears, they just get rolling and rolling and
Morale
rolling.
boost.
Yeah. And which is great because the Bears have so many young players on that defense. They needed a leader like that. They needed someone to step up and just really take the charge for that team. Especially, like I said, this is the Chicago Bears to talk about. Defense is in their DNA.
Yep.
So I mean, to have a guy like Khalil Mack come in and just really spark this defense in a completely new way. I mean, it really shows me at least that like this team has taken massive steps forward from like 2-3 years ago when we were losing 13 games a season. I mean,
We don't talk about those years here.
It's not. Yeah, those are the dark ages.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, I feel like just the way, so the NFC North in general, I feel like if the Bears can keep it rolling, I mean, you never know. I feel like, you got 3 teams that could theoretically win the division. I don't think the Lions could put it together, but who knows?
They have beaten. Their 2 wins have come against Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
So, I mean, they can do something right. Well, they can get up for the big game. I mean, the Bears could put together, a good season and take the division. The Packers, I mean, Aaron Rodgers in a 1-score game. He's lucky at this point.
The Chiefs.
He's good. Well, yeah,
Mahomes?
I thought you said the Cheese, not the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs are not in the NFC North.
We're still talking
Well,
about.
We're talking about-
I'm talking about team.
We're talking about
I was
Packers.
gonna say a team that can really make a run to Super Bowl. Just kind of go off top.
So Packers, Bears, Vikings. Who wins the North?
That's for me.
You got Aaron Rodgers. Well, I know. Okay, Tim's picking Bears,
Yeah.
I don't want to be biased, so I'm going to leave myself out. We're gonna ask
I want the
We're putting
Bears
Robert
to
on the
win.
spot.
but
We're putting Robert on the spot here.
I truly think the Bears will win the division though, because I don't know how you like that as filling in with the Vikings defense. I feel like Aaron. My opinion on Aaron Rodgers is
well, I think-
overrated.
I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna come down to the wire, and I think the Bears could win the division, but also the Packers could get in on the wild card,
Wild card. Yeah.
or vice versa.
You think the Vikings not a chance?
No, I don't
Vikings-
think their defense. I don't think the defense is the same.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I mean, you never know, especially Kirk Cousins is a good free agent quarterback, but I feel like the Vikings definitely got lucky a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
They got pretty lucky. We're not gonna talk about Stephon Diggs and someone legitimately not only not tackling him, but tackling his own play. Like, I'm still mad. I'll never not be mad. I'm so glad y'all got slaughtered by the Eagles, Vikings fans, and had to watch them win in
Fly,
your home
Eagles,
stadium.
fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. The NFC East is a disaster, isn't it?
Oh my God.
So the leading team is 2-2.
Nice.
Are the Eagles 3-3?
Redskins.
Redskins, that's right.
They
Keep forgetting about the
Eagles-
Did a bye?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
they did.
Anyway,
It's just terrific.
so let's see. So playoffs, I'm obviously going to think the Saints are going to win the South in the NFC. The NFC East is literally just spin a wheel, probably.
I need the Eagles find a way though.
You think the Eagles find a
I
way to
think
put it
the Eagles
together?
find a way.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to choke at some point.
Yeah.
The Redskins, without Darius Geisen, with Alex Smith, I mean, Alex Smith has been known to be an early season quarterback and progresses. Who else plays in that division? Oh, the Giants.
Giants.
They're terrible. NFC North, Bears. NFC West. Does anyone have any chance of challenging the Rams?
No.
No.
Okay.
That division is locked.
Okay, moving on.
Done.
AFC East. Does anyone come close to the Patriots? I feel like it's either going to be the Dolphins or the Patriots, and the Dolphins are kind of taking some steps back. now.
I think the Dolphins have a chance, especially after they came back against the Bears this past weekend.
Of course you do.
Oops. But I think the Dolphins have a chance. But outside of them, I mean, Jets and Bills are awful. I mean,
Yeah.
Sam Darnold.
As usual.
If it's not the Dolphins, then it's gonna be the Pats for
Pats
the bajillionth year in a row.
Pats by default.
Yeah.
AFC South is pretty hard. I mean, everyone seems to be pretty bad in that division.
Yes.
It's competitively
Even the
bad.
Jaguars.
Is it
have,
or
like,
the
have
yeah?
been on the decline.
They're underperforming. The Texans. People
Fournette has
thought
been out, hobbled with the
Fournette's been out,
hamstring injury or
the
knee
Titans. When's the last Titans touchdown?
Like
They've won a
3
couple.
games
last
again.
year.
They won a couple games
no,
with
no.
just field goals.
Their last
At Clay
touchdown
Travis.
at Clay Travis.
At Clay Travis.
Doubt he's watching. The
Oh no, he's totally the one viewer. What time is it? It's not. It's 6 hours ahead, so it's like what 4 a.m. in London right now. I'm gonna check.
it's
Keep
4 a.m.
talking.
in London. No, the last Titans touchdown was
It's 5 a.m. in London. Clay's
Wait.
totally watching.
Clay's waking up with some sports ramblings.
yes,
Yep.
he is.
First college football and taking his kids to Legoland, Churchill bunkers.
No, the last Titans touchdown was the overtime winner against the Eagles, which was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, like week 2 or week 3,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So they're bad. The Colts are bad,
They're really
despite
bad.
Aaron Rodgers coming back. That's totally
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck.
and A names. They're all A names. Aaron Drew Luck, Aaron Rodgers,
They have the
Alex
same
Smith.
number. Number
They
12.
drew the same.
They're both number 12. They both have disgusting facial hair.
That's true.
Aaron Rodgers just
They
needs a
both went to
shape.
California.
Andrew Luck,
They're California. That's correct. Yeah.
they went to Rivals. Ooh.
Rivals. Yes.
Andrew
Cal
Luck
Stanford.
still looks like a Civil War soldier.
Captain Andrew Luck.
Always will. Is that the fake Twitter account where he's like,
Yes.
Civil War general, Captain Andrew Luck.
Dearest Abigail, we were routed at Foxborough by General Tom and his band
And his band of
band of patriots. Oh my god! So who's winning that division? Jags by default.
toss up, flip a coin.
Okay.
I think, you know what? I think the Texans could make a run.
That's it.
I fit.
They've
They're
won
3
3 in a
and
row.
3.
They've won 3 in a
They're
row.
3 and 3. I think they're finding their mojo, and with Deshaun Watson and like the weapons around him, as well as I think an improved defense so far, they can make a run.
You think
And push.
you think that? Okay, so Texans, Tim.
I'm saying
I think the Texans find a way.
Bortles.
Still believe in the Jags?
No, I don't believe in anyone. I have to pick someone. And honestly, Jacksonville. I mean, okay, you know what? Houston. Poor Houston.
They need something to cheer about right
yeah,
now.
I mean
you
the
know?
Astros just got
Okay.
doinked out.
What else? AFC West.
Robert was mentioning them.
The
Chiefs.
Chiefs. But
Yeah.
but let's think about it. I do think the Chiefs will win the division, but I think you have to mention the Chargers.
Yes.
Why? The Broncos are trash. The Raiders are the worst team in the league. if
Raiders
you gotta
are
ask me.
just dumpster fire.
The Chargers have only lost to the Chiefs and the Rams, who are the two best teams in the league, arguably right now. I mean, have the Rams even lost yet?
No, they're the only undefeated team.
And the
left.
Chiefs lost to the Patriots in Foxborough
by 3
Yes.
by 3 with a rookie quarterback.
with a rookie. Second year, but
I mean,
feels like a rookie.
if Ben Simmons won the rookie as a second-year player in the NBA, Pat Mahomes is basically a rookie, right? Right? That's how it works. You're a rookie for 2 years or 1.
Yes, it depends on who you ask.
At NBA. Or the Steelers. Okay, who wins the AFC North? I feel like that's a pretty competitive division.
I feel like the Bengals.
I think the Steelers,
I think the Ravens.
the Ravens.
The
With their
Ravens
defense,
defense
The Ravens
is so
yes,
good.
Yeah.
Not the Steelers.
Gonna have to keep an eye on this.
The Browns are going to do well. I feel like the Browns are
This
going
might be the most competitive division in the league.
Browns
this year.
are going to end up, I think, 6-10.
That sounds about right.
6-10,
I'd
7-9.
buy that. I'd buy it.
You know, the Browns are going to be one of the earlier draft picks, not top, because of how. Well, so worst teams in the league. Worst team in each division.
We always love talking about the worst teams. right?
Worst team
Bucks.
worst team in each division. Bucks,
No, Bucks.
Giants,
Cardinals,
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 Lions,
Raiders,
Lions.
and then in the AFC, Raiders,
Jets.
Bills,
Bills.
Browns, but
Browns.
You can give a
Browns
Browns
are
to Jets and Bills though, right?
I feel like the
Someone-
Bills are a lot worse.
Yeah.
As little faith as I have in Sam Darnold, it's more than I have in Josh Allen. And that's
Nathan Peterman.
And Nathan
Peterman.
5 interceptions.
That's a name I haven't had in a long, long time.
And then south is gotta be the
I'm gonna
Colts.
say the Colts.
Colts.
Yep.
Colts gotta be the best.
So Super Bowl matchup, the Saints are gonna be the Chargers.
I buy it as long as that Saints
gonna-
D can just get enough done.
Win the turnover battle. I feel like that's what I mean. That's literally the cliche of every football coach.
Yeah.
If we win the turnover battle, there's a high chance we win the game.
I'm gonna say Saints over Chiefs.
Bears over Bears over Browns.
Well, Bears Packers can't happen. That's not
No.
fantasy.
You wish you
I
could beat them in the Super
I'm
Bowl.
gonna be unbiased. I'm gonna be unbiased. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be basic. I'm kind of basic.
Rams Chiefs.
Rams Chiefs.
Who wins?
I'm gonna go Chiefs. I'm.
You know, I wouldn't be upset if the Chiefs won.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. And I mean, you talk to people around the league, people who have been in the NFL for a long, long time, and they've seen, quarterbacks come and go who have been, highly touted and just crash and burn. They all say, no.
Mahomes has got something real.
This kid's the real deal. I mean, they even showed after the Patriots game this past weekend, Tom Brady, you don't see this, you almost never see this. Tom Brady, when the game ended, went out of his way to run up to Patrick Mahomes and congratulate him on an incredible game. So if Tom Brady is doing that to Mahomes, and again, he almost never does this.
No, Tom Brady's an asshole.
Yeah, he almost
like everyone in the Northeast. Hi, Northeast viewers. How are you doing? I hate Boston. I like the city, but I hate the people.
And
At least it's not
sports teams.
Yeah. Yeah. So, are we transitioning to baseball then?
I guess we're
Baseball.
transitioning.
Red Sox. Why? Okay.
The home run.
It was a home run.
It was a home run.
We got some rants here from the
It was a home
fans.
run.
Hey.
Stros
Why?
fans here.
Look, I got an Astros Cup I haven't watched in like a week. Go Stros, right? So here's the thing.
Still your defending champions.
I feel like
That's
it was a
correct.
home run, but we could talk about it all we want. The Red Sox won the series, unfortunately. Yankees fans, join me in your grief. I'm sure you will never hear the end of it, despite the fact, the scoreboard and the curse of the Bambino. But
Yep.
Red Sox fans, no one cares about you anymore. You broke your curse, and now you're just another jackass big city sports team that has to steal all the glory from the smaller markets. Houston's a bigger city than Boston. Shut up. No one in the national media talks about Houston as much because Bristol's right between Boston and New York, and that's where the four-letter is located. So, so we can talk about whether or not it was a home run all night, and y'all can say it wasn't. People back home, you're wrong.
There is a specific view that shows the yellow line and Mookie Betts reaching his glove past that, which means that his glove is quote unquote out of play.
So here's the thing. Tim and I were talking at dinner tonight about Wrigley. Wrigley has this basket, right? So
Yeah.
first of all, the fence is high enough where the player can't jump over the
Player
basket.
can't jump and grab a home run at Wrigley Field. It's impossible.
And the fans, if they're leaning over, you literally have to fall out of your seat, out of the bleachers to even get your arm across your hand over the net, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to be like Shaquille O'Neal with the longest arms ever to reach over that basket and catch a home run ball from the first row.
So yeah, unless it's the starting five for the Chicago Bulls, which they're not sitting in the bleachers if they're at a Cubs game. I'll tell you that.
No.
They're in the box. They're behind home plate in all likelihood. But Wrigley Field is designed where there's very little ground where the fan and the player would hit. The Green Monster in Boston is like this. In college, something we're familiar with, Alex Box. Not a lot of colleges stadiums have fans sitting in the outfield, but when they do, like Alex Box, they have the fence and the green line on top, and then about a foot back, there's a chain link fence that's the front of the bleachers, right?
Yep.
And so the point I'm getting at is a lot of ballparks. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. This is becoming like a recurring theme on the show now.
If you like
Yeah.
Coach Joe impersonations, this is the sports show for you.
You will hear lots of coaching.
Despite some of our biases, as you can see behind us.
Go Irish.
Go out. They're going dome and touch on Jesus and Mary and Rudy.
Not
Rudy.
Coach O needs to narrate Rudy.
Oh, if there was can we get Coach O to do an audiobook version of one of the Rudy books?
I would pay so much money for that.
Coach, I want to let Rudy play in my place. You two got to. I want you to act like it. I think I am, Coach.
I think I am, Coach.
What are we talking about? Baseball. So
ramblings.
Dinger.
I like how in baseball, some people don't. These people are wrong. I like how in baseball, different ballparks have different dimensions. Mm-hmm. I like how the foul ground is a jungle. I like how sometimes you have tarps in the playable area. Yeah. I liked, the Cubs got rid of this, but I like the bull. I don't prefer, but I like having bullpens like just in foul territory or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I feel like ballparks need a couple things. I feel like, especially in the modern day, you need nets to the bases, if not to the edge of the infield. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You need to extend the netting because y'all seats at Alex Box are the first ones past the net.
Yep.
And they're not that. I mean, the net doesn't cover that much in the box.
In college baseball.
And so a right-handed hitter fouling off could easily murder me when I'm sitting in their seats. I don't like that.
That's true.
You need more netting, and you need to make your. I don't care about foul ground. Bartman be damned. Interference for a fair foul ball, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But interference determining whether it's a home run or an out, keeping a man on first, that's a big deal. So
and 2 runs.
Two runs.
More than 2 runs, yeah.
And of course that ends up losing by 2.
And that's in the first inning.
But yeah.
Who knows? Who knows
how the rest of the game plays out?
You could have put together a big inning. I mean, more people on base and all that.
I think there was only 1 out in the inning.
Oh, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like I don't know how you would mandate this, but I think getting rid of the hill in Houston was a good thing. You need to have your outfield fences where you need to minimize the area where a fan could reach over
minimize
and where
the
a player
for fan interference.
Like Mookie Betts is one hell of an athlete. Like I feel like probably only like 2 out of every 10 outfielders can make even get close to making that play. Mm-hmm. But you need to put up you need to do something, especially that right field fence in Minute Maid in the juice box. I don't want to get rid of any seats because, sitting on the wall in the outfield's one hell of an experience. Mm-hmm. But, like, a basket maybe or, something along those lines. Maybe coming, like, off, like, the top of the fence. I don't know. You need to do something.
Well, I know you mentioned that at LSU. It's kind of similar thing at Dodger Stadium in LA. The bleachers don't start the first row.
Are they like 5 feet back from
the first row of the bleachers is like 5 feet back from the wall. That's why you see some home runs hit at Dodger Stadium where they disappear behind the wall and in front of the bleachers.
At Chavez Ravine, the pavilions in the back with like the old, totally like old school like
the zigzag roofs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the zigzag roofs are for real. But. Anyhow, so yeah, I don't know if it's that big of a deal. I mean, I just feel like it is because, you can't help but I feel like the Astros and the Red Sox were a lot more evenly matched than a 5-game out of 7 series, right? Mm-hmm. It was, yes. I feel like, should have at least gone 6, probably 7. Who knows what happens in that game? Who knows, just, you can't have a call, you can't have a review impact a series that much. And honestly, I feel like the Red Sox have a solid chance to win the World Series now. I mean, obviously, the Brewers and the Dodgers are playing in a Game 6 right now. Mm-hmm. They're in the 9th inning as we speak. But like, I feel like just if the Red Sox win, there's always going to be like that. And I mean, they won that game, they won the series or whatever, pretty easily after that. Yeah, but like I'm saying is like some people are like, oh, wasn't that close, but this was Game 4, right? This was Game 4. It was early in Game 4. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like just letting that come down to it is something, and at least like people are saying, put GoPros like in like the fence, like looking up,
Yeah.
or
yeah.
I think
or on the roof looking down. Tell that damn security guard to get out the way.
Well, this is a good point too. People have mentioned, like if you have like a camera looking like straight down on the fence to determine whether a fan is reaching over or not. It's almost like similar things how they've advocated for cameras down the goal line in football games,
like the pylon cams.
Yeah. So I mean, the NHL has this. They have cameras right on the blue lines to determine whether a play is onside or offsides. And even like tennis, you look at
And they have a top-down camera for the goal in hockey, right?
Yes.
No, but like you said, in tennis, you watch watch
a
tennis
match, yeah.
literally instantly they can tell whether or not it was on the line or not.
You have a player who says, "Oh, I want to challenge out. I think that ball was out."
And then you have
and then you see the ball coming in, and yep, it was out. Oh, so
and tennis is not as big as baseball.
yeah, and we hear them. I mean, I know like probably more internationally it is, but like
overall,
here in America, no way you would say that tennis is bigger than
and I feel like overall tennis is smaller than baseball too.
Mm-hmm.
Like tennis is an international sport, but it's really just Western Europe and the Anglosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Australia and America and Western Europe.
Australia doesn't exist.
Australia does
Doesn't
not
exist.
exist according to flat earthers. Kyrie Irving used to be a flat earther. Do we want to talk about the NBA? Does anyone think there's anything?
But by the way, breaking news: the Brewers have forced a decisive Game 7. 4-run first inning leads to a 7-2 win over the Dodgers. Game 7 coming our way tomorrow night from Milwaukee.
Who pitched for the Dodgers?
I think it was Ryu. I think it was Hyunjin Ryu.
Sanjin Ryu.
I think so.
Rest in peace.
I think Walker Buehler might be going tomorrow night.
Buehler?
We could see Kershaw coming out of the bullpen.
That's why they pulled him early from Game 5, I think. They could have let him go longer, but Kershaw in the 7th inning.
Third time through the order.
Yeah, you never know, but thank you, Robert, for giving me more water.
Robert is a key addition to our squad here.
Remember to hydrate everyone, especially on a college football. Just everyone go.
College football Saturday coming your way tomorrow. Remember, stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Especially in these sunny southern games or
just
cold northern games or.
While I was gone, I would want to say this: in the Astros game, I think if they would have won the game with the interference call, then it would have been 2-2. And then I think with Verlander on the bump, they could have won that one, which would have made it 3-2. With them going back to Boston, only having to win one out of those 2 games.
Because I feel like the Game 5, just the wind was out of the sails for the Astros.
Yeah.
Like their momentum and just like
It was just gone.
all off.
I mean, you could just tell Verlander just did not look like his normal self.
No, and it's sorry for the Astros. I mean, Houston. I did grow up going to Astros games, so as close to my team as it can be, despite Tim's best efforts to make me a Cubs fan first. They get second fiddle, but it's
they're your National League team.
They're my National League team. Yeah, as soon as they call up Alex Lang from the minors, I'm all in. I'm all in for Wrigleyville, right?
I'll get you a jersey, Mikey.
You bought me a camo hat one time.
I did buy you a camo hat, and you said you did amazing with it.
I had the best duck hunt I'd ever had. Game 7. So it's Buehler versus the Brewers. Don't have starting pitchers.
I don't know if they've announced a starter, but it's probably gonna be. I would think it might be a bullpen game.
I mean, it's a win at all costs game. So I feel like Johnny Holstaff is in the pin no matter what.
Hands on deck. I mean, there is no tomorrow if you don't win.
Yep, and those Dodgers fans want they want that. They want that ring.
It's been 30 years. Can you believe? It's been 30 years since the LA Dodgers won the World Series. And we always talk about them being like in that upper echelon with like the Red Sox, the Yankees, all those sorts of big market teams. But they haven't won a World Series in 30 years.
What's going on?
By the way, the Utah Jazz.
The Fighting Mitt Romneys are beating the Kevin Durant Snakes.
The Golden State Warriors.
Okay, does anyone think anyone has a chance of challenging the Warriors for a title?
No. The closest,
provided no one gets injured.
the closest team would be, I think, the Celtics.
Yeah.
The Lakers.
No.
Okay, so this is how big Dodger baseball is. People always want to just talk trash on baseball and pump up the NBA. If you go in LA, if you were to walk the streets of Los Angeles right now, aside from all the liberals that don't know what they're talking about, you would find more Dodgers fans than Lakers fans. The talk of the town, the straw that stirs the sports drink in LA right now is not LeBron and the Lakers. It is Los Dodgers.
Los
Boys in blue.
Dodgers, vamos Dodgers.
Brooklyn Dodgers. Yep. So, fun fact. So I'm reading a book on Pearl Harbor. The Pearl Harbor, like when it was announced, it interrupted a football game. Between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants. There was a football team called the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1941. In addition to the baseball team.
There you go.
Well, there you go. I think so. I don't know. I'm probably illiterate. I'm from Louisiana, so.
What do we know?
How do we read? How am I putting on a stream right now? Is this mic on? No, it's on.
Maybe we're just living in a flat Earth world and none of this is real.
Yeah.
Is Australia real?
Is Australia
Maybe that should be
real?
a poll question. Is Australia real?
One viewer, is Australia real? Please type in the chat at some point. Viewers watching later on YouTube.
Are Australians paid actors?
How much are they paid?
Yes.
Millions.
I want that gig. I pretend to be Steve Irwin for $1 bajillion.
I might.
I wouldn't go near a crocodile or a snake.
Or a stingray.
Definitely no stingrays.
That's no stingrays, no sharks. No.
You know what? I think we should move on to the second part of the description with Texas.
Oh, no, we'll get to college football, but baseball.
That'll be the grand finale. Grand finale.
It just is Texas back, and then we cut.
I mean, yeah, that's the end.
Yeah, so let's just stick on baseball a little bit. Obviously, basketball and hockey can start. It's way too early. Although, if you like World of Warships, Alexander Ovechkin, you can earn him as a captain in World of Warships. Be sure to subscribe down below. Panzernator. I play World of Warships.
Panzernator.
Just did a Warship stream every Friday. We try to.
Mike was doing it just now before we went live.
Yep. So, but yeah, baseball.
Baseball.
Who you have?
Baseball.
Who do you have? National League team or Red Sox? Or does it depend on the National League team?
I think
Dodgers or Red Sox, if it's that.
Red Sox.
I think Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are. I think they want revenge after last year. I mean, they came this close last year.
I agree.
I think the Dodgers are out for revenge.
Wrong. See, that's why you're only a guest host. Dodgers. Brew Crew or Red Sox? I feel like the Red Sox.
I feel Red Sox.
I feel like the Red Sox would be
listen,
the Brew Crew.
But listen, the Brewers have been proving me wrong all year. I mean, watching them chase down my Cubs. I mean,
Rest in peace.
I never
Hot
thought.
take: Brewers are gonna win the World Series.
Okay.
Right here.
I like it. I like the contrarian view. I want the Brewers to beat the Red Sox. I don't know.
They've been proving me. I tell you what, they've been proving me wrong all year. So I would not be surprised if
Never
they
say never, boys.
took home the title here.
So college football.
Yeah.
Let's talk about college football. We love talking about college football.
We do love college football.
Where does one begin? How everyone in the fake news media was wrong about Coach O, you're wrong. How Notre Dame
6-6.
How Notre Dame is taking advantage of its easier than normal, but still harder than all of your team's schedules. Don't say anything. You're wrong.
LSU's schedule is tougher.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Okay, no, you want to look. Okay, you know what? You want to look at string of. I'm about to eat crow here, probably, but no.
LSU's is not.
Why? Because you have to play Alabama each year. That's one team.
Florida.
Florida sucks. LSU should not have lost to. Hold on.
This is why we love college football, folks. It gets the juices flowing. The juices are flowing.
College football strength of schedule.
LSU's
5 days. 5 days ago. Okay.
Very recent.
What the hell is this?
Number one at least.
Is there no list for strength of schedule?
What the hell?
See, he's not gonna find it, guys.
LSU does not have a harder schedule than Notre Dame. You play Alabama. Florida's trash. Auburn's trash.
What is this?
What?
What are you looking up?
Well, at least
I don't even know what I'm looking
at
at.
the start of the season it was.
Out of everyone, look,
say that.
I saw something on ESPN once that had like everyone's strength of schedule, and Notre Dame's was better than
Don't
everyone else
trust
in the top 10.
ESPN. Look what you're basing.
It doesn't
yourself
matter. It doesn't matter. Strength of schedule doesn't matter, people. You
on. Okay,
know what?
whatever. All right, just continue on with Notre Dame.
Despite the fact they're the
Look,
last.
look at what we have to put up with here, people. You know.
Despite the fact Notre Dame is better than LSU in every metric imaginable, historically, maybe not this year, but one team's undefeated, one team's not. I like both of them, so this is really hard for me to say. But Notre Dame has nothing but trap games left. 7-0, impressive Week 1 win against Michigan, which looks really good now.
Yeah.
Impressive win against Stanford. Stanford's not as good, but
Yep.
you know, part of that may be just the wind out the sails because of Notre Dame. On the road at Virginia Tech, where the fake news at ESPN and ABC and Kirk Herb, I'm the worst announcer ever, trying to make playing on the road at Virginia Tech seem like you're playing the Patriots in Foxborough. Virginia Tech's not Foxborough. Irish win big. And then surviving the trap game of all trap games, Pittsburgh.
God, there's nothing but trap games when you play Pitt.
You remember what James Franklin said about Pittsburgh? When Penn State plays Pittsburgh, it's Pittsburgh's Super Bowl, and Penn State might as well be playing Akron. I feel like it's the same way with Notre Dame. It's the same way when Pittsburgh plays anyone big. And historically, last year, how they beat number 2 Miami, how they beat Clemson that one year, like a few years back. Pittsburgh's a trap game. You know, Pittsburgh's a tough.
They find a way to get up for the big game.
Pittsburgh's tough. So, our survive.
Trap game right before the bye week. I mean, it's a bye week that's well needed.
You come off back-to-back big-time wins over Stanford and Virginia Tech, but
Impressive.
and it's something we're not used to seeing from Brian Kelly teams. I'm happy that he's maybe improving, or everyone around him is making up for his shortcomings. However you want to frame it, but the big question is Navy at neutral, right?
Out in San Diego.
Right. You see, right now, folks, I think college football playoff is Alabama and Notre Dame are in.
Okay.
Pretty much. And then the other two spots are to be determined.
I'll ask, how about this, Robert? Does Notre at this point, I'm getting the second half.
Oh, no.
Does Notre Dame get in with one loss?
No, because whoever we lose to is going to be trash.
Yeah.
It depends.
Even if let's say like we were to lose, let's say like Syracuse. Let's say Syracuse becomes a ranked team.
Or let's say we lose at Northwestern. Northwestern wins their division, plays for a Big Ten title, and it's competitive against
Ohio State or Michigan.
Let's say. I don't think. Here's the thing: if there's one loss, it comes down to all the Notre Dame didn't win its conference and all.
We don't
this
have
nonsense.
a conference,
and we're literally splitting hairs over whether Michigan. Okay.
By the way,
Or
Alabama got in last year without winning the
I think
conference.
one of these
Ohio
teams,
State
Ohio
2 years
State
ago.
or Clemson, is gonna fall out.
You feel like
You know?
I feel like Clemson is playing with house money a little bit.
By the way, huge game for Clemson tomorrow against an undefeated NC State team.
Let's go Wolfpack!
Probably the hardest game they have
But
left on their schedule.
NC State has been pumped up because they really haven't played that much of anybody.
I mean,
Like,
it's like their
their
Super
game-
Bowl tomorrow. It's their
Well,
Super
yeah,
Bowl.
it's their. We'll see what they're made of, but
The ACC is
their
not
best game.
the best conference right now.
I forget who it was against.
Virginia Tech? Did they play Virginia Tech?
Clemson, no.
I'm talking about
It was
NC
Clemson's
State.
tomorrow.
NC
It was someone really good. So some good team.
Didn't they have
It was rained out.
West
Oh,
Virginia.
West
West
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yes.
Rained out Hurricane Florence. Was
It was
coming through.
they didn't get
West
play West
Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah, that's right. That
They
game was
really
that.
haven't played that much of anybody, so they're undefeated. So I think Clemson could win handily, but then again, you never know.
I think it's on the road. That game's in Raleigh. So.
I do believe. I think so. I don't know. I feel like if Clemson loses, the ACC doesn't get a team in.
Hey,
Yeah.
we got another
Unless
person.
Notre Dame collapses. What's that?
Two people watching. We got another.
We do have 2 people watching. Texas is back.
No, pony up, right? Just pony up.
Pony up. Is SMU back? Depends on what they're back to.
No.
Their coach is not doing
terrible.
Their former coach is not doing that well.
He's terrible too.
Pig.
Suey.
Like how useless is this, right?
This is a dumpster fire inside of a shitstorm.
I feel like
Someone quote that.
a dumpster fire inside of a shitstorm. I agree, but I feel like conference scheduling is just dumb. Like
Yes.
the Big Ten East and then the Big Ten West. The whole SEC. You have your crossover games. LSU,
I hate the crossover game.
LSU plays
LSU
Florida
has
every
to play
year.
Florida and Alabama every year.
Look at how, like, what was it?
And Ole Miss plays Vanderbilt as their crossover game.
What was it? Like how
It doesn't make
Florida just,
sense.
Florida and Dan Mullen just went back to Starkville and played Mississippi State. They're not going to play at Mississippi State for, 12 years?
yeah.
12 years.
And they're in the same conference.
He's
How
not
does
gonna
that
be-
make
They're
sense?
just like Georgia LSU. They haven't played it like Georgia hasn't come to Baton Rouge for 10 years.
Like, how
You
does
know,
that make
and then
sense?
that
It was
changed
like
last week.
03, like
Yeah, 03 to 18. That's like
I was
that's
at
more
that was
50.
like that was the first football game I remember going to. 03 out.
We're going way back. We're going back in the DeLorean here, folks.
Oh yeah, I mean 8-year-old Mikey Misha like, Dad, what's a first down? What's a touchdown? What's a forward pass? Actual LSU kids. Now Joe Burrow.
Now Joe Burrow slinging the ball around.
No, and that was the 03 LSU team. That was Nick Saban.
Won
I
the
still
Natty.
do not remember Nick Saban ever being coach at LSU
Me either.
because I was too young. I was too young to even know what players were, or 11 men on the field. Like I was still trying to learn down and distance. Like, come on, you can't expect me to know coaches. And Nick Saban was just a coach back then.
Yeah.
Not
LSU.
not the devil
At
of
that
college
time,
football.
LSU had like the best coaching staff. They had Jimbo Fisher,
Bo
Will
Pelini.
Muschamp,
Come in the camera. No. Muschamp.
Muschamp.
Bo Pelini, right?
That was in 07.
No,
that was
yeah,
07.
07. Who else? Derek Dooley.
Derek Dooley
Oh, God.
was like an O-line
Saban, of
coach or
course.
something.
Yeah,
Like a line coach.
but their coaching staff was incredible.
Oh, my God. I mean,
No, yeah. If
the coaching tree is ridiculous.
at LSU,
Yeah, from that team.
Both teams. 07. Who was the O coordinator in 07? I know the D coordinator was Bo Pelini.
Yep.
Should you do a Google search?
I'm not sure.
Do a Google search?
Yeah.
Gus Malzahn?
He was all coordinator at Auburn when Cam
yeah.
Newton was there.
Yeah, and that was right after.
Before we got promoted to head coach.
Was that Cam? Let's just look at 2007, LSU 2007 or whatever. But yeah, no, I feel like conference scheduling is dumb. And then you have the Big 12 where everyone plays everyone. The Pac-12 just isn't like it's just. I mean,
I'm struggling here.
I feel like conferences themselves, like there are too many conference games. Like what? The Big Ten
Yes.
plays 9 conference games.
Yeah.
The Big
It's
12
dumb.
plays 9 conference games. The SEC playing 8 feels like a lot too.
It's
And, like,
terrible.
It's just.
They should just have like
Pulling up here. 2007 LSU Tigers football team. Offensive coordinator Gary Croton.
No one knows who that is. Never
that?
mind.
Who the hell
Whatever.
is this guy?
you
He
see,
is-
but it was still Saban recruits that won that title.
I don't like that argument. I don't like that argument.
I mean,
But did Nick Saban
But-
coach any of them? Like,
No.
Nick Saban, he got Jamarcus Russell on campus, but he never coached Jamarcus Russell in
Yeah.
practice, right?
Yeah. I think that's
that is true.
Give the Mad Hatter his credit. Let
I'm talking
Les
about,
eat the
like,
grass.
But I'm talking about like the Gary Croton guy. Like I've never heard of that guy until now.
Never mind.
You know?
And that 07 team was lucky. Speaking of Pittsburgh, you know why LSU played in that national championship game? Because
Boston
an
College.
undefeated West Virginia lost to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is a tough game, people. Wake up, sheeple. Just because you played Purdue doesn't mean your schedule's harder than Notre Dame's. Vanderbilt is not a quality win, Florida. Just because you struggled does not mean it was a good win. Can we just say how bad Florida is?
Can we just say how terrible LSU's loss to Florida was?
I mean, that's what happens when Florida cheats and gets you like 20 home games in a row. It feels like at this point.
It was 2 home because
and then Tebow in the Ring of Honor.
No. The Florida Athletic Department is the biggest group of jackasses that there ever was, And they will, like, they even canceled, okay, in college baseball. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
Florida,
yeah, I heard
Stetson!
about that,
Yeah, they
is
canceled
like a
a
week-
game against Stetson. Like,
They were in the
very-
middle of the game.
A
Yeah,
random
yes.
team from Florida.
Yes. They were losing like 10-0. It was raining, so they delayed it. But then they canceled it and said the game didn't count. So
They were down 10 runs.
Yes.
They were losing at 10-0.
Or like 10-1, 10
And then with
They
the
were getting
LSU
shellacked.
Florida situation a couple years ago, Hurricane Matthew, I believe it was, came in and affected the game. And then, so they were like, LSU was like, okay, we'll try to have it at our place because of, the hurricane.
Didn't they offer to play in the Superdome
Yep.
too?
Yeah.
Neutral site?
They had hotels booked in NOLA and a plane on the runway in Gainesville.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had that.
And plus,
Yeah.
A plane ready
Florida,
could get them.
the majority of Florida's D line was injured. So there's also the aspect of that they didn't want to play.
And LSU had to play
that
the bye.
weekend.
And LSU still had to pay South Alabama for not playing them when they
Yeah,
rescheduled.
LSU had to take
Yeah,
like a
oh,
bye
yeah,
week
yeah.
or whatever and skip a game.
And the most
then-
ironic part of all of this, the day they were supposed to play, it was 80 and sunny in Gainesville. Not a cloud in the sky.
it was perfect weather.
And Notre Dame played in a hurricane and lost.
Twice. Clemson and NC State.
Which one? I think that was Clemson. That was NC State, I think. That one.
Yeah.
But we strongly dislike Florida, so we will be loudly cheering for the Bulldogs in the cocktail party.
Oh wait! Speaking of
Quality win! Quality win! Quality win! Let the band play now! Da 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 da.
If you hear the band play neck at an LSU game, the students utter a lot of exclamations.
We will be singing,
Even if they play something close to neck, they yell STTDB.
which you can go look up. But
You can look it up.
Suck that tiger.
Bleep bleep.
You can probably figure it
Suck
out.
that tiger.
Wee wee.
Richard Cheney.
Female
dog. Oh.
That's a new chant.
Suck that tiger dick, Cheney.
Female dog.
Female dog. Oops. No, this is the
Vulgar
absurd.
ramblings.
You want to know why they should let the band play neck? You be the LSU athletic department. I'll be the fans. Let the band play neck.
No,
Why?
because you say bad words.
Why? Let play neck. Play
Sorry.
another song.
Suck
Suck that tiger dick, bitch! Why are you still cursing? Play neck! No, we don't play neck because you curse. We're cursing anyway. Just play neck.
Oh, it was terrible.
Like, come on. Like, you can't pay the fine.
No.
If you start a group me or
They
like
would-
a
or like
GoFundMe,
GoFundMe, yeah, GoFundMe.
you do a
Look,
GoFundMe.
even
You
OBJ,
pass it. You pass
OBJ
it.
came back for a game and paid the fine, and they did.
Yeah, Odell did that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you pass a collection plate through the student section, you could fund the band playing neck
No,
constantly.
No, even one time, I think Robert and I were talking about this earlier today. I think Scott Van Pelt on his show said, "If the
Yes.
band plays neck, I will pay the fine. Send the bill to me."
SVP, you're our homeboy. You are my favorite
SVP,
ESPN
yes.
employee.
The goat,
The
The
goat.
the
greatest.
goat,
The
Scott
goat.
Van Pelt,
Scott,
winners,
SVP.
winners
Respect.
right here with the
Go
card.
Terps.
The Terps, the dirty Terps.
So LSU absolutely took it to Florida. This is where opponent's dreams come to die,
You
right?
should say Georgia.
Flo-
Say
Georgia.
Florida.
Yeah.
God damn it! It's hard doing shows
It's
live.
okay. No,
L-
but
LSU
the greatest satisfaction.
you know the Bugs, but there's a clip from Bugs Bunny where he saws Florida and it floats away. That's what I want to do right now. Go Dogs, beat Gators, but Dogs, thank you for being a quality win for LSU.
Yeah. But
Stay
the
down.
greatest satisfaction was the amount of Georgia fans that were there that were cheering like in the first half that just
The
shut
first
the
quarter.
hell
Shut
up
up,
in the
yeah.
second half.
And there's quiet and mad. Oh, and then so
Nothing's funnier than seeing an
Oh,
opposing
and then
college football
please tell the
fan base,
story
man.
of us leaving the stadium.
So I was
Oh,
sitting
boy.
I was sitting with Robert and his family in their tickets, right? I was being a peasant, a man of the people, sitting
Man
in
of
the
people,
regular
right, yeah.
seats. I'm a man of the people, okay? Like
in the miserable heat.
in the miserable heat. It was sunny. I like, do you want to see my watch tan? Like you just
The watch tan.
Just like-
oof.
I don't know how much well that shows up on camera because of the lighting.
Whatever.
But anyway, so
You
like
get the idea.
the gate that we leave from our section passes by where the opposing team's locker room is, and outside like against there's like a fence, and we're walking on one side of the fence, and on the other side is a bunch of tables with the food for the Georgia team before
After
they
the game.
leave at the after they shower and come out of the locker room. What do they happen to be serving them? Raising Cane's chicken fingers, Pride of Baton
But
Rouge,
here's the kicker.
in plastic grocery bags with the Saint of the Bayou, Ed Ogeron, Go Cocho in purple
On the bag.
on the bag. We're all those Georgia Bulldog friends. Kirby Smart, Jake Fromm, and all just sadly eat their chicken.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
They probably ate some coleslaw.
Also-
being
Some
dumbasses.
coleslaw.
They probably had no toast and extra
It
coleslaw.
was all coleslaw. All no chicken. It's all coleslaw.
Oh, that would have been hilarious.
It's
That
all
would have been,
coleslaw.
that would have been the troll of the
No
century.
fries.
No fries, just straight coleslaw.
Who actually orders the coleslaw?
Some people.
Coach, I think
Otherwise, it wouldn't be on the menu, right?
I think Coach O gets extra coleslaw. he does need a.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Go
Well,
Tigers.
yeah,
Go Tigers.
whatever works.
You just gotta play football like a kid in the backyard.
It's like everybody get in the backyard. You gotta love it.
Oh my god! So I feel like the Georgia game. What really set the tone for that was that fake field goal for Georgia getting blown up by LSU.
You're not Les Miles.
You're not Les Miles.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Sean Payton. I mean, come on. And Pittsburgh trying to beat Notre Dame on a fake punt. You're not Les
It
Miles.
was the worst fake punt I've ever seen.
In the most obvious situation,
I
too.
saw it coming a mile away.
Wasn't it 4th and 4 at like midfield or something like that?
Yeah, they were down. They were down like 4 points. I was like, oh my god, this is a fake punt all the way.
No, yeah. If they're punting with on 4th down late when they're down, I'm not even putting a punt returner back.
Yeah.
I'm playing like cover 2 or something.
Just straight defense out there. No punting. Just straight defense.
I'm just feeling in defense and maybe have one of the safety.
The safety can run back and field the ball if he has.
Just let the ball roll, honestly. Like, I doubt it's going to
Yeah,
roll
man.
and, like, whatever.
Oh.
But, no. I mean, LSU dominating Georgia. I kind of saw it coming just because LSU at home, you never know what's going to happen. And the best team Georgia had played before that was, what, South Carolina?
Probably, yeah.
They ain't playing nobody, Paul!
Almost his Tennessee
Hey,
quality.
speaking of that note, Alabama has not played two into the
Fourth
fourth
quarter.
quarter.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So-
he has a knee injury.
Tomorrow, tomorrow is
Or-
the third Saturday in October.
Do they play Tua against the Fighting Rocky Tops?
I say no.
Or does Jalen Hurts get it done for the Tide?
No, they put him in for like maybe the first quarter, a little bit in the second quarter. Then they put Jalen Hurts in, and I think they will still win.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll be
Unless-
winning enough? Do you think they'll be winning enough by halftime to play Jalen the rest of the game?
I feel like Jalen could
Probably.
win the game for them, though.
Yeah, just because
He's beaten Tennessee before.
I feel just because I feel like
He's
Tennessee
done it
can't
twice.
match up.
Twice. He's beaten them twice.
Unless like Hurts implodes, I don't
Could happen.
You know,
You never know.
yeah. I think still have Alabama winning.
It's in Knoxville. You never know.
Unfortunately.
Okay, we still have some games to talk about from last week, y'all. This is why we're not an official show. This is why we're rambling.
Ramblings.
Yeah.
This is
But yeah, LSU Georgia. I feel like the fake field goal kind of summed it up. I mean, Danny Etling running like 70 yards downfield, getting
Joe Burrow.
God, did I say Danny Etling?
You
Yes,
said
you
Danny
did.
Etling.
Danny Etling had an 86-yard touchdown run in the preseason.
And then-
Joe Burrow, the current LSU quarterback.
There you go.
You see, I just talk too much. I don't think about what I'm saying.
Ramblings.
Yeah.
Beat Mark Richt and Nick Chubb's Georgia team. I'm obviously clowning right now, right? I'm doing this intentionally.
Beat Kirby Smart and
Jake Fromm.
Yes. There you go.
I don't know anyone else on Georgia's team.
Yeah.
The backup that they're all high on. The Justin Fields
Elijah
guy.
Holyfield and
Elijah
DeAndre
Holyfield.
Swift are the
Yeah,
other.
Swift. Yeah.
I mean, I don't
running
really know who they
backs.
are because they didn't really do anything last weekend.
Oof.
No,
What else happened to? So last weekend it was a trap game for Notre Dame.
There was
LSU was LSU was the trap.
4 top 10 teams went down.
Rip Auburn,
Red Ball.
rip Georgia,
Yes.
rip Penn State,
West
rip
Virginia.
rip Washington,
Washington,
rip
yeah.
West Virginia.
West Virginia going into Iowa State.
Take me home.
Yeah, that's-
Iowa State is it.
Country
Ames, Iowa is a
roads.
deadly place.
It's a
Iowa
deadly,
State's-
deadly place.
Iowa State's good for one upset a year, as us LSU fans are all too
Know all
familiar
too well.
with. Know all too well.
Oh,
The BCS was a flawed system and should have been in Oklahoma
it
State.
was a freaking system based on computers.
Yeah, well, the computers were good, but sometimes you got like
No,
I feel
they
like
were not.
no, I feel like you got to overrule a computer sometimes. Like, look, yeah, maybe Alabama's second best team, but I feel like in the spirit of the game, you can't have a
You don't-
rematch.
No, you don't allow that.
Because like I feel like
LSU would have beat anybody else.
I feel like if we had the BCS system with the playoff format, it would have been okay. You know, other than just
Yeah.
10 guys and Condoleezza Rice in a room, like, who should be the top 4? We need to put me in charge of college football.
Mikey has been advocating
No,
to
we're
become
gonna
the
have-
czar
we're gonna
of
have
college football.
Or the committee, the Supreme Court.
The Supreme
The
Court.
the
I like
Supreme
beer.
Committee.
I still like beer.
Beer.
Sometimes I drink too much beer. And that's why I'm a sports fan. Or because I'm a sports fan. I don't know what caused. I don't know which one caused which, but
What's the
Did
correlation?
did the chicken become for the
I feel like it just,
Whatever
it just
Yeah,
all,
yeah, become
right?
something.
the sports came before the beer. But the sports led to a lot of beer.
Beer before
And the beer-
after.
And the beer leads to a lot more sports. What else happened this week? Washington misses a field goal and goes to overtime and loses to Oregon. Quack, quack.
Quack quack.
Oregon's quarterback is for real.
Oh, that Justin Herbert guy, he just
He'd be
slings
a-
the ball.
Top
Is
and
Oregon
top
back?
Eh,
What the question is?
somewhat.
What is Oregon back to though? Playoffs?
I mean, if
Winning
they,
the
if, they,
Pac-12?
if they win out, they have a chance.
They could
but
win
they
the
need help.
Pac-12.
They need help.
They
Oregon's
could win the Pac-12 and make it to the nearest
Rose
Six
Bowl. Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
They'll for sure be in the Rose Bowl if they win out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
I
If,
think-
for them to get to the playoff, though, they have to win out, and they're going to need some help.
Yeah.
All right. Is Auburn a pretender because
They have 3
Lost to
losses
LSU.
and their last loss
they lost to
was
LSU, which was a
to
competitive game.
Rocky Top.
They lost to Mississippi
home.
State
Yes.
on the road. So on the road, okay, maybe you know Mississippi State's okay. That could happen. And then losing to Tennessee at home.
That's a
Yeah,
black
that's-
eye.
I feel like that's the
Ugh.
Ooh.
fool me once, fool me twice, fool me thrice. Ooh, you
I
bad.
think the Gus bus has a few flat tires here.
the Gus bus hit a pothole
Yeah.
or 3.
But now the problem is they pay him so much money because they were so worried that Arkansas was going to take him, and now they're kind of stuck.
Speaking of
Would Arkansas be better with Gus Malzahn? It's hard to see them being worse.
They'd be better, but they still wouldn't be great.
Would they wouldn't have gotten blown out by North Texas, would they?
No, that would not have happened if Gus Malzahn was their head coach.
No. They would have won by like 3.
The greatest part of that game was the punt.
The
Where
punt.
North Texas takes it.
The fair catch where he just catches it and
yes,
stands
yes,
there.
yes.
He didn't signal anything. He didn't say anything. The Arkansas players are too dumb and
He
just
just
assume
catches it
and walks.
stands there,
Tanks
And then
his
walks.
steps.
The Arkansas
Phew.
players walk off and just runs for the touchdown.
He just kind of jogs into the end zone. Arkansas is trash. Ole Miss, that Landshark defense gives up about 50 points a game. Did Colonel Reb die for this?
Landshark Tony is.
Did Colonel Reb die for this, though? Like, real Colonel Reb died to free the slaves. Or died and the slaves were freed. More like it. But did football Colonel Reb die to be replaced by a Landshark D that can't stop?
That isn't.
That can't
the
stop an
Landshark.
That's
intramural.
not a G at all.
That can't stop
Yeah.
Stanford Hall intramural team.
Straw.
Like, Tim, I think our section football team back in 2014 could put up 30 on Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And we were playing
Mikey stud offensive lineman here. You know, I was
with our
stud receiver. Right?
our 7-man offense could have scored 30 on that Landshark D. Yeah. So, West Virginia, I mean, all the upsets,
Well, we got
a
it.
lot.
Let's see. When was
What?
when was Texas Oklahoma?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago was
The Red River Shootout. You PC pieces of shit can go STTDB, okay? And you know what? It's called a shootout. Why? Because they scored like a bajillion points. Highest scoring shootout ever.
45.
Ever. Oh, and you know what pisses me off about Oklahoma? Like, I'm not mad at Oklahoma, Their quarterback, what's his name?
Kyler
Murray. I was gonna say. I was gonna say Baker Mayfield, or I was gonna say the wrong name.
He was in Oklahoma a long time. It felt like
Kyler Murray. He's like, that was on me and blah blah blah. Dude, you were down 3 touchdowns. You tied up the game, and your defense couldn't stop. Dude, your defense gave up 48 points.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on you.
it's not. Yeah,
It's not on you, bro.
I mean, it was incredible just for them to come back and tie the game.
If you score 40-something points, it's not the offense's fault.
No.
Unless you're in like the Pac-12. But the
Pac-12
is the Pac-12 even
Pac-12 after
is the
dark.
Pac-12 even football?
Sometimes it is.
You don't have an update, you stupid computer.
This is what happens when you get Mikey on a Friday night, folks.
Unbelievable.
With some alcohol.
With some alcohol.
No, the margaritas have worn off. This is just pure sports-fueled rage right now.
Damn.
This is just angry. I'm just angry.
This is just like pure state here.
This is what happens when we don't do ramblings for a couple months. I just get
so
mad.
much to
Texas
ramble.
is back
I feel like Texas is back.
from what we have seen.
So Texas controls their destiny in the conference, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because
New
their
Year's Six.
only loss is non-conference.
Yes.
They're undefeated in the Big 12. They could lose a game, right? And they'd still have the nod over Oklahoma. Because West Virginia and Oklahoma play each other. One of them's going to lose.
Yeah. So Texas essentially has a 2-game lead on
Pretty much.
Oklahoma.
Pretty much. I don't know how that works. But, so, I mean, we could see Texas in the LSU-Texas Sugar Bowl.
Ooh.
Oh.
Mikey Robert getting very excited.
LSU plays at Texas next year, so
Yes.
that's kind of fun. But I mean, I feel like Texas in the Sugar Bowl. I'd go wear burnt orange in the Superdome. I'm not gonna lie, I'd sell out for Texas or Oklahoma. Whoever pays me more and gives me a better shirt. Honestly, whoever I'm with, I have more. Actually, I have more friends that go to Texas. We have a friend from Stanford Hall. Shout out Sean.
Shout out to Sean out there if he's listening.
I would think that
Either today or
Louisiana
tomorrow.
would support LSU.
Well, yeah, but I mean, bandwagon on Texas. They're my
Oh.
if Texas is playing Oklahoma, who do you cheer for?
Oh, I thought you talked about still LSU.
If they play
Texas.
LSU, no.
Okay, well,
I'm just
yeah.
like, if-
hell yeah, if Texas playing anybody else.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, my bad. Then hook 'em horns.
I'm cheering for LSU as long as they're not playing Notre Dame.
Okay.
So, I mean, I feel like that's well established, despite including the fact that they play way too much. Dear committee, can Notre Dame get a bowl opponent that is not LSU or Ohio State? If we have to play Ohio State in the playoff, we made the playoff. But our last couple bowl opponents have been LSU, Ohio State, Rutgers, and LSU.
Oof.
Rutgers doesn't even make bowl games anymore.
Rutgers is the worst team in college football right now.
Period.
Wrong.
Who?
Yeah, it's probably Rutgers. they lost to Kansas, so it's probably Rutgers.
Kansas is no longer the worst.
No, Kansas has won like 2 games.
Rock
or something.
chalk.
Rock chalk Jayhawk. Let's go. Will Texas make it against the Jayhawks? Will Texas survive that?
Will Texas beat Kansas in football? Stay tuned.
We'll see.
Hasn't worked out well in the past. Yeah.
No. Is the Pac-12 eliminated from the playoffs?
I think so.
Their only hope is Oregon, and they have to win out, and they'll need help.
Oregon needs some.
Yeah, they'll need
Intervention.
Notre Dame to trip over at least 2 of our trap games, I think.
If not Oregon, then yeah, they're done.
Yeah, no.
This is what you want if you are a team with 1 loss and you want to make the playoff and no one's talking about you. You need Notre Dame to lose 2 games. You need Alabama to win out, and you need Georgia. No, you need Alabama to win out, and then you need.
What about LSU?
Well, that would include beating LSU. So that's what I'm saying.
No. But if you talk
LSU's
about
a
LSU
one-loss
as a
team.
one-loss team.
No, I'm talking about like if LSU wins out, LSU's
like with the
in.
exception of LSU.
I'm talking about non-SEC. So this is non-SEC.
Just
team.
the SEC is almost to kind of cannibalize itself, and that like only one team is to like emerge as
It could be 2, right? It could be 2. So say Alabama makes the title. Say Alabama makes the title game undefeated, 12-0 against a 1-loss Georgia team, and Georgia beats Alabama. They could both make it, right? But if Alabama's undefeated and they beat Georgia, Georgia has 2 losses.
And they're
LSU has 2 losses. Everyone in the SEC has 2 losses except Alabama.
Or what if LSU wins out and then like beats Georgia in the SEC championship game?
Well, then LSU would be
what
in.
What about
Then-
LSU and
then-
Alabama?
Well, then Alabama's a 1-loss team, and LSU and Alabama might both get in. So what I'm saying is, you need the SEC to cannibalize itself down to 1 team. You need,
which would likely be Bama.
which
Yes.
it's most likely it's going to be Alabama. If LSU beats Bama and Bama loses the Iron Bowl, that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
But the chances of Alabama losing to just, it's in vogue to assume Alabama's going to win every game, right? That's kind of, until they prove you wrong, which Nick hasn't really proved us wrong in that regards anyway. So, but pretty much for a Pac-12 team, even a Big 12 team, because
Big 12 doesn't.
Let's
have
look
that
at
much
it.
of a shot.
If you're not Clemson,
Well, Texas. Welcome. Maybe.
But-
we'll see.
can the committee overlook Texas's 14-point loss to Maryland?
Yeah, that's
Not unless they get help, right?
yeah.
So,
That's I mean,
because think about
that's kind of situation. I mean, we're kind of in this scenario right now where if everyone wins out, I think the field is pretty much set. If everyone wins out,
yeah.
we're pretty much set at Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, and Notre Dame.
Yep.
If everyone wins out,
Yeah, but if some teams trip up, it's chaos.
yeah.
which I feel like is inevitable because this is college football.
What if Michigan beats Ohio State?
Yeah, Michigan might have a shot. I mean, as a 1-loss team, their 1 loss is at Notre Dame in the season opener.
I think Clemson could trip up. Too.
So here's my question: the reigning national champions, the Golden Knights from Central Florida,
UCF.
if they go undefeated again, can you leave them out the playoff?
Yeah. We'll see, I think that's a very interesting discussion because I think you would
If
have...
you put in a 1-loss Ohio State or Michigan over an undefeated UCF the second year in a row,
I think if that happens, then I think we're officially going to see the advent
Expansion.
of at least an 18 playoff because I think
they might sue the NCAA.
All these fans of Group of 5 schools like a UCF would say that the system is fundamentally rigged against us because we're not a Power 5 team. This needs to change.
They could try,
and they would
trial.
sue the NCAA, right?
I think they would, yeah.
Or the CFP committee,
as an
or
immediate fix, they could try like a trial run 6 team where I think they could put like 1 and 2 maybe as a bye or something. Just
I feel like that'd be a disaster for the 1 and 2 team though, because it's rest versus rust. And let's go back to baseball. How often does the 1 seed in baseball lose to the wild card winner? It's about 50-50, right? How often do the wild card teams? How often do the winner of the wild card games beat the division teams in the NFL? More than you would think, probably, right?
Same thing like in the NCAA tournament. You had the
March Madness.
Yeah, you have the playing teams winning a game.
Yep.
In the round of 64.
UMBC.
UMBC.
Well, they didn't play in the playing game, but
No. Still.
shout out to their cheaters though.
So here's the scenario. What if Georgia wins out, LSU or Alabama wins out, Ohio State wins out, Central Florida wins out, Notre Dame wins out, undefeated Notre Dame in?
I mean, they have to be in.
1 loss or undefeated, 1 loss Georgia, SEC champion, 1 loss LSU, SEC champion, or undefeated Alabama, or 1 loss Alabama, SEC champion in, right?
SEC champ is in.
1 loss LSU who gets left out. 1 loss LSU would make the SEC title game. 1 loss Alabama who doesn't play in the SEC title game. In? Only lost to Alabama. All lost to LSU.
Well, it definitely if you're if you would be comparing LSU with Georgia. LSU.
Here's the scenario I'm pitching. What if it's 2 SEC teams, Notre Dame and UCF?
Oh.
That's like the nuclear option there, Mikey.
One conference, the Group of 5 team,
And an independent.
and then the independent school.
The independent.
Like I feel like at that point,
Wow.
I feel like the other 4 conferences grab their pitchforks and march on the CFP.
Yeah. Oh man.
Where they meet in Dallas, right?
No, they mean. Well, yeah, they mean. Yeah.
They march on the CFP committee, pitchforks and torches of 11.
Oh man, angry college football fans.
Oh.
Because the rest of the country hates that the SEC is the only conference to get 2 teams in.
Mm-hmm.
Deservedly so in most situations, though, right? Because last year, Alabama and Georgia both deserved to get in. Had 2011 been the playoff, LSU and Alabama both would have deserved to be in, right?
I mean, well, if you look at it that way, like 1 through 4, LSU would have been 1. I think you put
Oklahoma State
2,
Alabama 3,
and whoever would have been.
I think it was Florida.
Was it Florida?
What?
Wasn't it the year Florida got wrecked in the Sugar Bowl?
By
Louisville.
Was that
Teddy Bridgewater like his first season or something?
Maybe later than
Look
that.
up 2011's Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
Robert's like our statistician now, too.
I mean, we just need Google open at all times during sports ramblings, right?
Damn, it's about to be Saturday.
Well,
Saturdays are for the boys.
oh, it's midnight. Wait. Are we gonna? What would I say? It's game day. What? It's game day. No, that's. I mean,
We're trying to keep this PG-13, right?
Somewhat.
Somewhat.
Something like that. I don't know.
Back to football. Again.
Back to
football.
Back to football. I do feel like okay. How about this? I've heard this argument. A lot of people like to say you have an 8-team playoff. You have your 5 conference champions. You have one group, the best group of 5 team, and then 2 at-larges. A lot of people.
Ohio State and Arkansas.
4 and 5, or 3 and 4, or 4 and 5, or the Sugar Bowl.
2011.
Sugar Bowl. Yeah, because remember Arkansas was like number 3, and then Tyrann Mathieu like ran a bunch of punts.
So I think you would give the nod to Ohio State there.
Yeah, you don't want to put 3 SEC teams in the playoff.
No.
So here's the argument. By the way, it's game day, sailor hats. Let's go. Anyway, I'm sorry. So I feel like. So hear me out. The argument is if you have the 5 conference champions automatically get in, I feel like we're gonna stop seeing home and homes being scheduled.
Oh, none of that would happen.
Would LSU have any reason to play a Big 12 or
To
an
play
ACC?
like a Miami.
To play a Miami? No. Would anyone schedule Notre Dame if they didn't have to?
No.
The ACC would drop us like a.
Notre Dame would be screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I also advocate for this because then, under that scenario, so right now,
Notre Dame would automatically take one of the wildcard spots most of the time.
so right now, Notre Dame is essentially they're fighting for one of the 4 spots because there are no conference restrictions. Under that scenario, Notre Dame would be fighting for only 2 spots because
instead of one of 3.
instead of one of 4.
Or no, I mean like in that system, LSU would be fighting for one of 3 spots: the SEC title or 2 of the at-larges, right?
Yes.
So
So everyone would be at a disadvantage compared to now.
if you're LSU,
Just looking at it from a pure numbers standpoint.
if you're LSU or Alabama or Florida or Georgia on the other side, your incentive would be to schedule absolute cupcakes. Lose your 1 game to Alabama if you're LSU, and then we're 11-1. We're a great team. Put us in the at-large spot.
Yeah.
But as an LSU fan, part of what makes it fun is playing Miami, playing Wisconsin in the past couple of years. Our home and homes coming up against Clemson or Florida State. Notre Dame's home and home.
Army even coming in.
No, yeah, Army.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're playing Army because the governor went to West Point.
Yeah. But I mean,
That has a lot to do with it. But I mean, Army's not
fun matchups that you don't
all
normally
these
see.
new teams.
Michigan and Michigan State would never play Notre Dame again. I don't feel ever because I don't think you can do the at-large teams. I think 4's okay, honestly. I don't know. I don't like it because you leave someone out in the debate. Maybe a better way of picking the 4 or something. Because, I mean...
I think in the next 3 or 4 years, we're going to see the expansion.
You think
I think something's gonna change, especially if, like we said, like this like nuclear option happens where
the UCF, Notre Dame, and 2 SEC teams?
Yeah, well, UCF, or if UCF gets left out and they're undefeated.
Well,
I think UCF,
because if UCF could sue the CFP,
yeah, UCF is the team that just kind of throws a massive wrench into everything if they go undefeated.
Memphis, you could have saved the CFP a whole lot of trouble last weekend.
Hey, UCF. By the way, right now,
Who does UCF have to play them?
South Florida is also undefeated right now.
Charlie Strong.
So hey,
The war on I-4.
the war on I-4.
Could the war on I-4 get game day? When is
Stay
the...
tuned.
Well, speaking of game day is going to Wazoo for the first time ever. Old Crimson is coming home.
At home. Old Crimson is home tomorrow morning.
And-
Technically today.
Who would have thought the Apple Cup would...
Unless you're on the West Coast.
Who would have thought
still-
game day
still
would have gone
tomorrow.
to Pullman for something other than the Apple Cup?
No one.
I didn't see this coming.
The only reason that this happened was because of the flag that they always fly around.
Well,
And it's like the 100.
it's a ranked matchup, right?
It is a rank.
And,
Yeah,
and
it
hear
is
me
a
and
decent
hear me out
matchup.
here. The Pac-12 is doomed, right? We don't think the Pac-12 is going to make the playoff. So you get your game day there early. You know, you get your game day there. I say early. We're in the second half of the season, but before you get to November, because November 3rd, LSU Bama, probably there.
And then probably maybe even
Last week,
Ohio State, Michigan.
last week of the season is going to be
yeah.
Ohio State, Michigan.
Probably.
And then the 2 weeks in between that,
You could like Georgia, Florida.
Georgia,
But that's
Georgia,
maybe
Florida's
that's
coming
October,
up.
Georgia,
but
Florida's next week.
that's
So yeah,
next
Georgia,
week.
Florida's next week.
Yeah,
That
I could
could-
probably go there.
That might be it. You know, so I feel like game day is throwing their bones to the Pac-12, getting the game day and Pullman
Yeah,
off the list,
So
and
go
then
back to UCF. Their hardest game coming up is at USF,
Yeah.
and that's it.
They have,
the war on I-4.
Pretty
they have
much.
two ranked matchups left against Cincinnati and
They go to East
South
Carolina,
Florida.
then they play
Temple and Navy.
at home against Temple and Navy and Cincinnati. Then their final game,
is at
war
South
on
Florida.
I-4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like if Central Florida goes undefeated, I don't know how you leave them out without causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
You either put UCF in and piss. I feel like the committee's screwed if this happens.
Yeah.
Because if they put UCF in over a one-loss Michigan who wins the Big Ten,
Yeah.
or a one-loss Oregon who's won the Pac-12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even the Big 12 champ.
Or
A one-loss
one-loss
Texas,
Big 12 champ.
a one-loss OU, who say Oklahoma and Texas make the Big 12 title game, and OU avenges that loss.
Yeah, I mean,
It's tough to leave them out,
Yeah.
is it? Isn't it? I mean,
a 3-point loss to your arch rival in a neutral site. I mean,
yeah,
ugh.
I
And you're
mean-
a conference champ.
and you avenge that loss too.
Yeah.
I feel like
This is why college football is the best sport on earth, people.
it's the small sample.
Endless debate.
It's a small sample size of games. You can't just have record determine it because there's so many teams that'll end up undefeated or 12-1 or 12-0 or 11-1, right? 10-2 even. I mean, conversely, all hell could break loose, and instead everyone's going to have one loss, and we're going to be like, what two-loss team's getting in?
Yeah.
When LSU won the title in 2007, they made the top two as a two-loss team. 10-2. Both undefeated in regulation.
Yep.
Thank-
Their losses came
Thank
both
you.
in double overtime.
Triple.
Triple.
Because they had to go for two and failed 2-point conversions when their opponents did not. Memory. That was 11 years ago.
Man, we're old.
We
Right?
old.
We're
You watch the
old.
highlights in that game, you're like, were graphics on games ever this bad?
Yeah, true.
Like,
really.
how is the score-
Seriously.
The scoreboard looks like primitive. Like,
You look back and you're like, man, how did I watch football back then?
the uniforms look weird, too.
Speaking of uniforms,
Speaking of uniforms,
LSU's uniform.
Notre Dame is off this week, so we're good.
So we're
LSU,
resting.
LSU kind of has a little bit of a trap game. You play a tough Georgia team, and then after this weekend, there's a bye, and then Alabama. You have Mississippi State right now. Mississippi State is the trap team in the SEC
decent
West.
team.
Decent team, good enough to beat you, but bad enough to be overlooked. I feel like LSU did something good here on multiple fronts. They're breaking out special uniforms. We'll talk about what they are later. Breaking out the special uniforms gets the players pumped up, and they might have that extra motivation to play a little bit harder and maybe avoid the trap game. So, the uniforms. It's talking about, it's a 100-year anniversary of 1918,
The
which
silent season.
LSU is calling the silent season, has called historically the silent season. Because LSU, which was conveniently founded as a Southern military college in 1860. I wonder why Southern State would need a military Academy in 1860. Anyone, if you know, be sure to leave a comment. I as a history novice myself, I would like to know. But LSU back in the day was known as the Old War School, and all of these LSU football players included went to fight in World War One, and 30 of them didn't come back. So there are 31 trees planted in a certain area of LSU's campus, the 31st being for the unknown soldier. And so to honor these brave men who, if we think about it historically, these are the first American soldiers to venture across the pond. I mean, before that, all the wars were defensive, or Spanish-American War, where you like go to Cuba or maybe the Philippines. This is the first time Americans venture over to Europe to fight in a foreign conflict, really. And they risked their lives. 30 of them bravely sacrificed for freedom and to defeat the forces of monarchies and second worst Germany. The Kaiser wasn't bad per se. He was at the this is getting in the weeds. Defending our freedom, because the Germans wanted Mexico to invade us, right? So defending our freedom, these brave men and women lost their lives. So the uniforms, they look like just plain white with like some purple or whatever. But if you look closely, it's patterns of oak leaves to honor the trees, to, call back to the trees that honor the fallen. And their helmets are like Mardi Gras beads. It's incandescent or iridescent. Mm-hmm. You see, I call people the wrong names. I say the wrong things. Man, Archie Manning's just killing it for the Saints, isn't he? So the helmets look, back to the helmets, they're purple, but whenever you shine light on them, the glare makes it look gold. Tune in to ESPN at 6 p.m. Central. LSU takes on the Klanga, and these three goons will be in section 412, yelling and being glad that cowbells are banned from the real Death Valley.
Where opponents' hopes and dreams come to die.
Let the band play.
Let the band play neck. They played Dixieland Delight and Alabama didn't curse. Here's you want to know my theory on neck? If you play neck every game, or if you play neck multiple times every game, people stop doing it.
Yeah.
Because, Tim, pretend you were in the worst dorm at Notre Dame. What do you do when the Celtic chant comes up? And what does everyone else do? Dun, 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 F-U Zom. So the Notre Dame student section says F-U Zom to our own dorm. You never hear it. Why? Because they play the Celtic chant all the time. And so people get bored and just kind of like jokingly like mumble
that's kind of funny.
Like, yeah, screw you, Zom. You're a bunch of frat boys, but you're not a frat.
Yeah.
Screw your moose head. You're not a house. You're a dorm.
You're a dorm.
Betas. So if you play, the more you play neck, the less you'll get STTDB, right? So
I think that's right.
The more you play neck, the less they'll fine. If Alabama keeps playing Dixieland Delight all the time, I don't feel like they're going to get fined. They're not going to yell F Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. What other sports are going on? Does anyone care? Not really.
You pretty much covered
it's all about college football.
That's about it.
So LSU, Mississippi State. I feel like LSU is going to have the added motivation to win because of that, because of the special uniforms. I'm just going to run through the score list. There's some big games coming up.
Let's do some prediction.
Anything ranked. Michigan State in Lansing, East Lansing.
Ooh.
I feel like Michigan.
That's a big chat game.
Michigan's on upset alert.
Michigan is a touchdown and a half favorites.
Mark D'Antonio just seems to have the Wolverines number.
I'm picking the upset
year.
in MSU.
You pick the upset.
Yeah,
I feel like we got to put them on upset alert. Oklahoma, TCU. TCU's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. They're 3-3. I think Boomer Sooner's going to get done.
OU finds a way.
OU finds a way. Ole Miss has a better record than Auburn.
Oof.
Auburn's 4-3. Ole Miss is 5-2. War Eagle going down to the Grove. Auburn is only a 4-point favorite. You think Hotty Toddy is going to get the win, or you think Auburn's going to right the ship?
Listen, if Auburn loses at home to Tennessee, I think they're going to lose at Ole Miss.
Hotty Toddy.
On the road?
On the road.
Let's see. What other big games? Eastern Michigan Ball State. Nebraska, despite being 0-6, is a 5-point favorite hosting the Golden Gophers of Minnesota.
Ooh.
The $5 and bits of broken chair trophy.
Yeah.
Does Nebraska get their first Frosty win several weeks after
Against
they
the
won?
Frosty team.
I'm gonna say yes.
You think
Yeah.
Nebraska gets it done
Nebraska gets it done.
at home? Go Big Red.
GBR.
Washington hosts Colorado. I feel like Colorado was exposed as a pretender when they lost to.
Washington is
And
Washington
Washington
is
needs
angry
to revenge.
after last
Yeah.
week
Washington's a
They've lost to
17.5 point
Oregon.
favorite. I feel like the Huskies will get it done.
in Seattle.
An
yeah.
undefeated ACC matchup that could be the storm of chaos we're looking for. The North Carolina Wolfpack travels to the fake
State, North Carolina State.
North Carolina State Wolfpack travels to the fake Death Valley to take on the Fighting Dabo Swinney's.
That's what that game is.
Clemson is remarkably a 17.5 point favorite over an undefeated ranked ACC team. Granted, NC State was supposed to play West Virginia, and that game got rained out. Who knows? I mean, that could have been a big. I feel like had they played and won, West Virginia wouldn't have had all the hype. And I don't think I feel like that would have been a lose-lose. They lose to West Virginia, no one takes them seriously. They beat West Virginia, no one takes them seriously.
Yeah.
So I don't know if playing that game would have done anything. I don't see Clemson losing it. I mean,
No.
NC State's a trap team. They're kind of like
They are.
They're like
trap
the Mississippi State of the ACC.
I think NC State could pull it off.
I think it's
if
close.
It was in Raleigh.
If Syracuse,
I think it's close, but Clemson finds a way.
If Syracuse-
just like they did against Syracuse.
if Syracuse can give Clemson fits in the fake Death Valley, I don't see why NC State couldn't. But I haven't seen NC State play a snap of football this year. Yeah, I feel like Clemson. Alabama, Tennessee. Let's just keep scrolling.
Keep moving on. Next.
Let's see. Oregon at Washington State. The game day game.
Okay.
The fighting Mike Leaches are 3-point favorites over the Ducks.
Ooh.
Both teams 5-1. The winner controls their destiny. Is probably favored to win the Pac-12 North. Who you got?
I like Oregon
You like the Ducks?
with their quarterback.
Yeah. Wazoo's really amped up, especially with game day finally coming to Pullman. But Justin Herbert, I think, is the best quarterback. One of, if not, well, okay, two is the best. But if Herbert comes out this year, he's the best quarterback in this upcoming draft class in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. He's a stud. I think you're right because I don't know if Oregon's loss to Stanford is legitimate. I claim it as a win for Oregon. Chop the trees. No, but really, I mean, you think about who did Wazoo lose to?
I have no clue.
Oh.
No one knows. I don't
I
know.
have to look that up.
No, Stanford? Did they play Stanford yet?
Maybe.
Yes, I need to loss to Stanford.
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
They lost to Stanford.
Schedule. They lost to USC. At USC.
That's right.
That was a Friday night
Friday
game.
night. That's right.
So there's that game. Vanderbilt, Kentucky. No. That's pretty much all the big games this week.
Yeah. And then of course LSU, Mississippi State.
LSU, Mississippi State. Like I said, I feel
Yeah.
we're all homers here. Even Tim. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
At this point, right?
at this point, Tim, if you say Mississippi State, I'm just gonna put you back on an airplane and send you back.
Send me
now.
back to Chicago right now.
So there we go with that. So yeah, college football. We talked about that. NFL games are happening, but who talks about the NFL?
Yeah. We already talked about it really.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
The NFL is so mechanical, and it's win your division and just have a better record and tiebreakers. Whereas college football, we have all this debate of who's played better people, who deserves to be in.
Yeah.
I hate conferences. I hate conferences. It's about who you played, but you only really play your conference, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a few outliers. The ACC teams that play Notre Dame. There's those SEC ACC crossovers from the SEC East. What else? I mean, there's again the teams that play Notre Dame from the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. But Southern Cal and Stanford are both out the race. I feel like at this point. Mm-hmm. So Michigan's loss to Notre Dame might be big. I don't know. It's fun. I feel like conferences are stupid.
Agreed.
At least divisions are dumb.
Divisions are pretty
How the SEC does divisions is pretty dumb.
Oh, it's terrible.
The Big Ten divisions are worse, though, I think. Especially because Nebraska's down.
How is Big Ten divided?
East-West.
Yeah,
East,
no, but
West.
like what teams are...
Ohio State is on the East. Penn State is on the East.
Michigan
State
State
is on the East. Michigan's in the East. And then in the West, you have
Wisconsin
and
Nebraska.
Iowa, and like that's
well,
Iowa,
that's kind of
Nebraska.
the same thing as the SEC because the West is stacked compared to like the East, typically only having Georgia or Florida.
I feel like it regresses to the mean, though. I feel like in the West, it's LSU or Alabama. In the East, it's Florida or Georgia.
But Auburn could sneak up.
Auburn sneaks up sometimes, just like, Mizzou won back-to-back Big East titles. Or SEC East titles.
Big East.
Big East!
Oof.
Was Mizzou ever in the Big East?
No.
They were in the Big 12.
That's right. MIZ.
West Virginia was.
CLU.
Ooh, the Big East. What a disaster.
Rip.
West Virginia.
Mom.
So if you had to pick, I know we really want LSU to win the SEC, but is anyone going to beat Alabama?
I don't think so.
Do you think
the team?
I feel like the Eastern team will win. The Eastern team will lose to the Western team.
Yeah.
Unless
it is.
it's pure chaos and not Alabama or LSU, which I don't even know if that's possible. Now.
But definitely the team with the best shot at beating Bama right now is LSU.
I agree because that's at Real Death Valley.
At least in the regular season. At least in the regular season.
The SEC title game is a neutral site game, and Alabama probably plays more games there than they do at Bryant-Denny at this rate. Who wins does anyone beat Clemson in the ACC?
I don't think so. No.
Clemson. Who wins the Big Ten? I feel like you're either going to Ohio State or Michigan.
I say
it's gotta be
is it the winner of that game?
It's Ohio State, Michigan winner.
Are they playing at?
It's at the Horseshoe.
It's in Columbus.
Yeah, I'm going with Ohio State.
OHIO. Urban Liar. We didn't even talk about that. Urban Liar's a scumbag. You can take Urban out of Florida. You can't take Florida out of Urban.
Yeah.
Because Wisconsin's pretender.
Northwestern
might represent.
Northwestern might win the West.
Might represent the Big Ten West. Pac-12. I feel like Oregon's gonna win.
Yeah.
I don't know who's gonna represent the South. Probably Southern Cal.
Probably, yeah.
Because their losses are gonna be to Texas, and Notre Dame, which are both non-conference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what? They have one conference loss now, or
they
lost to Stanford?
Lost to Stanford.
So
yes, yeah.
But again, if we're assuming they lose to Notre Dame, please, we better beat them. And they also lost to Texas, right? Texas played USC. That is a thing that happened. I feel like Oregon would beat any team from the Pac-12 South. The Big 12 is tricky because you can't find a division winner, right?
No.
It was pretty easy to see, it's either going to be Northwestern or Wisconsin to win the Big Ten West, and they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Most likely. I don't think.
It's between Texas and Oklahoma.
I think so.
You think it's Texas or OU? You don't think
I don't think West Virginia is...
Well, because think about it, West
Virginia. They kind of got exposed against Iowa
West Virginia
State.
hasn't played Texas or OU yet, right?
No.
So they'll lose one, if not both. They'll either beat both of them.
They'll split.
And so, something's going to happen with West Virginia. Because if West Virginia beats OU and Texas, then it'll be West Virginia and Texas rematching. Because OU's losses will be conference. Texas's 2 losses will be one non-conference and one conference.
Yep.
West Virginia loses to Texas but beats OU, it'll be Texas-West Virginia. I think. I don't know. You know what? Texas is back. Texas is going to win the Big 12. Hook 'em. We're big. We're probably the biggest Texas fans out.
All right.
Okay. The real reason I like Texas, one of the guys who served with my grandfather in the USS Enterprise in World War II is a big UT fan. So, Mr. Jack Maroney, thank you for your service, sir. I don't even know if it's appropriate to salute, but for you, Mr. Maroney, hook 'em. Thank you for your service.
The horns for him.
Thank you for your service. Sean Anovic,
bless.
Don't fail law school. TJ, get your PhD in chemical engineering. Be that weirdo professor we all thought you could be. Anyone else at Texas that I know, and if I like you, hook them. If you go to Texas and I don't like you, hook them anyway. You might not like it. They probably don't like football anyway.
Ooh.
I don't know how you go to Texas and not like football. I don't like.
It's one of the blue bloods.
There are a couple schools. There are a couple of I could see you going to Alabama and not being that big of a sports fan. I feel like the schools you have to be a sports fan if you go to
LSU,
Notre Dame,
Tejas.
Texas, OU, Florida State,
Ohio State.
SC.
Yeah, no.
Michigan.
Southern Cal sucks at everything but football. They're not good at They're not good at basketball.
Yeah.
And they haven't been relevant in baseball since like the 80s.
Yeah, since they won like 5.
Since they won like a bunch in a row, but they've sucked since then.
And the two teams that are tied for second now are LSU and Texas.
Yep. For College World Series is
Yeah,
hook 'em.
6 each.
JK, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Closing remarks. Anyone? I'm worried. Every game's a trap for Notre Dame, so I'm cautiously
This will
optimistic.
be the year of chaos.
This
in college
I feel
football.
like we're gonna have another 07 this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully Notre Dame stands tall in the Great North.
Hopefully the boys avoid weather the storm.
I would love to see
Beat Bama.
I would love to see LSU. I would love to see a 2-loss Alabama. That's all I want for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is Bama to lose 2.
Yeah, so when said Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is you. All I want for Christmas is Bama lose 2.
Yeah. Tua.
We can make that a new song.
I hope Tua recovers for the NFL Combine.
Oops.
I hope he has a successful career as the next quarterback of the New York Giants. Jets.
J-E-T.
No, man.
Jets.
Sam Darnold's the future. Because Southern Cal quarterbacks have panned out so well in the pros, right?
Mark Sanchez.
Right.
Butt fumble.
Right. Matt Leinart.
Oof.
Ooh.
How did his Heisman not get revoked?
Don't ask me, man.
How did Reggie Bush get his Heisman taken away?
It's a good question.
Push.
Oh, didn't you? And also how USC tries to vacate the whole loss in that game. They tried to vacate the whole season. Like, no, you didn't play the regular season, and then you lost to Texas.
What happened?
I'm gonna say the wrong name. What's the quarterback's name?
Vince
Young. Okay, I get Vince Young and Steve Young mixed up. I know they're totally different generations, but they're both generic name. Vince Young. Okay, is Alabama? I feel like does Alabama's dynasty get rolling if Colt McCoy stays healthy in that game?
I still think so.
Would Texas have beat?
Saban's still saving.
Maybe.
Would Texas have beat Alabama in 09 had Colt McCoy stayed healthy?
Would Texas have won that game? I think they could have won that. I think they would have won that game. But I think Bama would still be Bama.
It was a close game
Because Mac Brown was going to retire soonish, I think.
because of age.
Yeah.
It was a close game
Nick
with the
Saban
backup.
is Nick Saban.
It was a close game. Part of that's because it was Greg McElroy as the quarterback. That was before Alabama teams were hateable. It's like, Alabama won a title. This sucks. And then they get A.J. McCarron, who's the worst person ever. And you're like, okay.
His beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah.
And now wife.
Yeah.
Not wife.
And now he's the backup for the Raiders.
The Raiders. Oof.
As according to Brent Musburger.
Who calls Raiders?
Yeah,
Come to Vegas. Oh, my God.
And he was like, oh, welcome A.J. McCarron
and your
his
beautiful wife. I love Brent Musburger. I miss Brent calling games. I miss Vern calling games.
We miss him.
Thank God Tarico's on the Notre Dame games.
Oh, so good. So good.
He balances out the pain and misery of listening to Flutie. Flutie just is...
The two worst commentators in college football
Kirk
are
Herbstreit.
Gary Danielson
and Kirk Herbstreit. Herbstreit is garbage. He's ruining Chris Fowler, too. I love you, Chris. Kirk, you're a decent guy, but I hate when you call games. I hate it. I don't know if it's the 4-letter giving you news from up top, but can we get Scott Van Pelt in the booth?
That would be amazing.
For a Maryland game.
For any game.
I'd watch... Look, Scott Van Pelt calling the cocktail party, even though the cocktail party is always a CBS game.
That'd be lit.
That'd be so good.
Amazing.
So, anyways, any? I mean, I know I've said any closing remarks like 5 times now, but
I think that about wraps.
That about closes it.
Tigers back. Texas is
back.
Ramblings
back.
Ramblings is back.
LSU never went anywhere. All you doubters thought Coach O would fall off the face of the earth, and then he just stuffs you like LSU stuffed that fake field goal. You know what? Coach O might lose to Alabama, he might lose to A&M too. But you know what? You said he was going to go 6-6, and he already has 6 wins.
Full eligible.
Go Tigers!
Thanks for watching Ramblings. Be sure to subscribe. And until the next one, who knows when that'll be? We'll try and get more regular. See you, nerds. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Adios.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers!
Go Irish.
Irish.
Go Tigers!